to intro this guy, I got to list off all of his world records. There's a lot, but I'll go quick. He ate 47 slices of pizza in 10 minutes, 9.17 pounds of blueberry pie in 8 minutes, 4.1 pounds of chicken wings in 8 minutes, 1 pound, 15 ounces of chocolate in 7 minutes, 10 pounds of corned beef and cabbage in 10 minutes, corned beef sandwiches. He ate 11 8-ounce sandwiches in 10 minutes, 29 and a half date nut bread and cream cheese sandwiches in 8 minutes. I don't even know what that is. 47
Delicious.
glazed and cream-filled donuts in 5 minutes, 21 pounds of grits in 10 minutes, and that wasn't those instant grits. It was good, self-respecting Southern grits.
That's right.
1.75 pounds of vanilla ice cream in 8 minutes. Now, these are all jalapeno ones. Beef, this is near and dear to our heart. This is how many jalapeno peppers this guy ate. 98 after eating 47 donuts in 5 minutes, 191 in 6.5 minutes, and 275 in 8 minutes.
Just insane.
10 pounds of key lime pie in 8 minutes, 34 dozen oysters in 8 minutes.
Holy fuck.
42 sandwiches and peanut butter and jelly sandwiches in 10 minutes. Again, beef, another good one for us. 9 pounds, 3 ounces of pozole in 12 minutes. 11 pounds of shoe fly.
That'll cure a hangover.
Shoe fly pie in 8 minutes. Strawberry rhubarb pie in 7.9 pounds in 8 minutes. 15 pounds of strawberry shortcake in 8 minutes. 29 8-ounce waffles in 10 minutes. 4 pounds of roast turkey in 12 minutes. And then there's another one that says 6.9 pounds of roast turkey in 8 minutes. That's on Wikipedia. I don't know how that's different, but nonetheless, this guy is a fucking legend. And by the way, he just won the 2024 Nathan's hot dog eating competition. He owns the mustard belt. We're extremely happy that a Southsider does. I want to welcome to the show Patrick Deep Dish Bertoletti.
Hey guys,
What's up, Patrick?
What's up?
Oh, that's a lot of records. I kind of forgot. Shit. Get around.
I mean, you've been doing this for like 3 decades, right? So yeah,
There it is,
Yes,
baby.
there's
that is
There it
amazing.
Oh, yes.
I saw you bring that out, and I was like, "Fuck yes, the belt! The belt is
Patrick,
right there."
no one's listening right now. Do you often wear it naked? Just to like show off. I'm just.
No, my friends will ask me if I wear it when I'm banging my girlfriend or if I make her wear it. I haven't done that yet, but that might happen.
You have to do that.
Yes.
I feel like you need to do that. I feel like it's almost a waste. You didn't do it in New York right after the competition.
Dude, this thing's heavy. Like I thought I have a Waffle House one that's I thought was cool because normally they give you like a homemade one that's like a weightlifting belt that somebody's grandma
Yeah.
So this is this one's real, man. I hope I don't have to pawn it one day when I develop a drug problem and need money or something.
Patrick, I know you're not familiar with us too much, but I sell a lot of stuff on eBay. If you ever need to get rid of that belt, I can get you a good price. And I only take like 30% of the total profit. So
Pretty solid right there.
It's a pretty good deal. You don't have to do anything. You just give it to me. I ship it. I take all the responsibility. So, if you need that money, I'll help you. I'm not like that guy on Netflix. I won't give you a $2 million advance, but I might give you at least a couple $100, and we'll see what happens. Okay?
Yeah, people said I should start selling my farts, so maybe we could start with that. And if we could
Yes.
something, then maybe we can sell the belt.
That's a great idea because that reality
Good
star
idea.
was doing it, making all the money, and then she chickened out. She had too much beans one time, and said, that was too much for me. Like,
I mean, I think, and Patrick, I don't want to speak for you, but the other three of us, we've definitely had enough gas at points where we thought we were having a heart attack, and you just get by that. That's it.
A grabber. If you're gonna go back to the super fans, it's a grabber, right? Isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
exactly.
Just a piece of Polish sausage lodged. in the heart.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, Patrick, if we could.
Oh,
Go
sorry.
ahead, go ahead.
Hey, thank you guys. My brother is a huge fan. He was drunk tweeting you, and I haven't listened much, but I will start because I always need podcasts, and if he likes it, then it's
Nice.
Oh, appreciate that. Yeah, and
Holy
it was
shit.
It was crazy. So it came up because I was tweeting about betting on the hot dog eating competition, and just crazy things that they let you bet on. And your brother tweeted at me after you won, you should have bet on Southside own Patrick Bertoletti. I was like, yeah, fuck, I should have. Like I fucked up. And I'm talking to him, and I didn't realize at all what his handle was. Like and so I'm just talking to this guy, like, yeah, I'm an idiot. Like, and then he DM'd and he's like, hey, would you want to have him on the podcast? And I was like, holy shit, I didn't even realize what's going on.
Who you're talking to there?
perfect, organic. And good. I mean, I love podcasts. So yeah, dude, I'm doing everything. You know, any media, I'm not really turning anything down. So I'm happy to be here. So
Awesome, man. Well, thank you for coming. And
Hell
I
yes.
kind of want to go back. You're a little bit younger than us, but probably like five years or so younger than me. So like in 2007, you're in your early 20s, right? And like this is when you're starting to get a lot of big wins. Like you did the stuff on Spike TV. You had some other champions. You ate some gigantic hamburger. Like all these things are happening. You're that young. How did you get into this? Like, how did you realize like I have a talent for this, and then get in with like Major League Eating and start doing all this?
Yeah, so I always grew up overeating. And I love food, so that's the thing. I got talked into or told about a Bocce's pizza eating contest. So that was like the first one, and then I proceeded to get really ill on somebody's lawn after, and I was like, that's the dumbest thing. I'm never doing it again. And a week later, I'm like, oh, that was cool. I won a DVD player, and they said my name a bunch, so it just started. It took me a while. I just didn't know what I was doing. I came up right before Joey Chestnut. He blazed a trail. He's like the best ever, and he figured out the training, told me, and I'm like, I stuck with it. And I was also going to culinary school at the time, so it was kind of weird to be doing the eating contest in culinary school, So
I was curious about that, Patrick, if there are
makes
mentors or coaches in this, because it's a very unique niche. And do you guys help each other out? And it sounds like you do. Like Joey was helpful to you, and I assume maybe you've been helpful to others as well.
I always offer my help, but people just don't want to do the work. It's a pain in the ass, dude. It's just like takes a long time to do it, and they just want the easy fix. So I'm always willing to offer and help people, but it's just the payoff. It was big this time for me, but there was years of it where I would make okay money, but you have to win prize money. So it's just like I'm always willing to help because he helped me. So I don't know, but just it sucks. The training sucks. I would not recommend it.
Well, that's what I wanted to ask about too, is because you're older now than much older than when you were doing that in 2007, and you're still improving. Your numbers are still going up, especially in the hot dog competition, and you see that kind of across the sport. So is that just people pushing each other, like pushing to the next level, or is there new techniques and new training and new preparation for days leading up?
It's a little bit of the competition level is a lot higher, but I think I did my personal best 15 years ago, and that was 55, and I never thought I could get back to that. But I think Joey was a good example because he just evolves, and he's not as fast as he was before, and my throat is not the same, so my speed isn't there, but I'm just able to adapt and just eat for a longer period of time, where before I would go really fast and slow down right away and then hit the wall. But this is like more of a smoother, more gradual, pace. So that's really what it was. And I kind of knew he wasn't going to be there a little bit before everybody else. And I'm like, shit, this is a year. So I was training. And then once he confirmed like 3 weeks before, I was like, all right, let's go. And then wasn't like a week before where I finally had a breakthrough with the training. And otherwise I would have been stuck right like 52, 53 with those other guys. So.
Okay, now what is the breakthrough? What happened like in this? Like, did you channel Nancy Reagan and get your throat like really loose or something? Like what was like the breakthrough? Like that's interesting. Or can you not share that? If you can't share it, don't share it. But like, come on. Like, this is a breakthrough that got me 4 more hot dogs. What was it? Like, it's a game of dogs, right? So what was it?
I referenced it before, the pace. So like if you look at it, it's just a game of numbers. So 58 is 5.8 dogs a minute, and if you look at it that way, it's more manageable. And I know just keeping that pace up. But I was just overtraining. I was doing 3 practices a week, and my throat, I was just exhausted. And then I was like, let's just take a break. And then I took like 5 days off, and then the first one back when
you're good.
So then I just had to wait and see, and that's what happened. But it was just the resting, I think.
Nice.
Oh, interesting to think about it from that perspective. We all do need a little rest sometimes. It's really good for you to recharge. So it's an interesting thought there.
Now, what's the rest look like between events, right? Like when's your next event coming up?
Yeah. So I have a blueberry eating contest on Saturday in Grand Rapids, and a few other ones on the books. Which, I know that sounds made up, but it's not even pie. I just assumed pie, and I was like, all right. They announced it like a week or 2 weeks ago, and it's close, and it's good prize money. I wasn't really planning on doing any of this other stuff, but I wasn't planning on winning either. So now I'm like, all right, let's keep going and try to
yes.
the victory.
You got to ride the momentum. Speaking of Speaking of that, Patrick, in the actual competition, I rewatched it this morning, and there's 5 minutes left. You got 35 dogs, and you're tied with another competitor. And when you're in the competition, do you realize what everyone else has? Or is everything just kind of a competition versus yourself, where you're like, I'm trying to hit personal records, and so you're trying to push yourself in that direction?
I was pretty tuned into that because I was worried about the Australian guy because he's really fast and he's been kicking a lot of ass on the circuit. So, and he was the unknown. He didn't have to qualify. So we were all just speculating. Everybody said 55 to 60. And I'm like, I was a little nervous, but I think once I hit 40, I was like, all right, I'm ahead. And I don't think I was ever really that far behind. And then I think it was like the last 2 minutes, everybody else just kind of slowed. And I just kicked it into high gear and just didn't slow down as much. And that really was what separated me. So.
Yeah, and that was really fun to watch. The final 90 seconds where you keep going, and you can tell the rest of the guys are kind of like they're finished. They ain't got much left in the tank. It was impressive to watch.
That was a good feeling, that's for sure.
You're in the goddamn zone. You're doing it for America. You're doing it for the South Side. You're like, there's no way this fucking Australian's coming over here and winning this shit. No. So could you bet? You had inside information on Joey Chestnut. Did you bet a bunch of money on the hot dog eating contest with him losing? Like, could you, did you take any futures on that?
I wasn't able to legally, so no.
Nice. Okay.
But, people knew. I told a lot of people to bet on me because I was like, I think I got this. And the odds were so crazy. At some point, it was like plus 2,000 for me to win. So like
Jesus
they were not.
Christ.
You could only bet like $50, but I think you still.
At 20 to 1, I'll take it. Yeah.
Yes.
I've just kept getting texts after, like with the betting slip, like, oh, I won $5,000. I'm like, I'm even telling you, you saw my name, you saw the odds, and I'm like, that just made. There's so many different elements that made it all the sweeter, So
that's incredible.
Hell yes.
So that was one thing about the event, right? Like this blows my mind every year with every competitor. Is you house 58 hot dogs, right? And immediately after, there's a microphone in your face.
Yeah.
Now, like, I know the emotions are high, all right, but like you're also filled with nitrates right now. Like, how are you holding it together for that interview?
It was so the practices I had done, you do 60, you just keep eating. So I had room for like upwards of 70, so I was fine. But I was pretty wiped out, and I did not anticipate this per se. But have you guys seen the video of Joey Chestnut when he's wasted and the girl asked him about oral sex? Have you seen that or
no? Let's hear about that.
Describe it to us.
It's what he says. So I knew if I won, I was like, I gotta pay tribute. So I repeated his line, and nobody really caught that's what I was referencing about, So it's worth. All
right, now I got to go back and
rewatch it.
I don't stop eating till the job is done, and that's why I said it. It doesn't really make sense.
What an A+ comment.
I got to do it for Joey. So if you know. So now you know.
Nice.
Well, you bring that up, so fine. All right, you threw it out there, Patrick. So I'm going for it. I know you said you have a girlfriend, but seriously, are there groupies for competitive eaters? I assume yes, because it's such a unique skill, and people be interested in that. Are there groupies out there on the tour?
Yeah, I do have a girlfriend, and but there are girls slide into my DM. And I'm like, this is just bad. I mean, but I'm happy. I'm happy, and if you're a winner, they're willing to overlook a lot of shortcomings. So, yeah, it's just a lot of attention all around, and then like everybody wants to talk to you, and I'm totally happy with it. I mean, it's great. I can't complain.
Yeah, it's incredible.
We call it food tanger. That's what I call it.
And now, Patrick, you're up there. You're finished with the competition, or any of these competitions, but particularly the hot dog one. Just for this question, what does it smell like amongst the competitors out there? There's a lot of hot dogs flying everywhere, and a lot of guys are putting a lot of effort into sweating. And like, what is the essence of the Nathan stage when you're winning the championship there?
There's like nobody's got BO. It's outside. I didn't really notice anything, but I did notice like backstage, like they were cooking the hot dogs and frying French fries, and it was like nausea. Oh. I was like, I can't.
Oh gosh.
I didn't spend a lot of time in there. It was hot, but I don't know. It's the effects don't set in until later, and I'm sure I just reeked, man. Like the shirt I wore in the contest, they didn't give me a fresh one. So the next morning on like whatever show we did, I had to wear the same shirt. It just felt so bad. And like I'm showering after finally, and then I'm like, what? I was just greasy. I don't even. It was so gross.
Like you're sweating out like hot dog, right?
Yeah.
'Cause, I mean, like
Now
It's so much of it.
yeah, your body goes from like 90% water to like 50% water and 40% hot dog.
The
Like
worst,
it's crazy.
it's probably. I think I ate 12 pounds of hot dogs, and that's probably 5% body weight of hot dogs, like 220. So,
Goodness.
but the oyster eating contest, I smelled like absolute shit. I smelled so bad after that. It was so gross. It was really bad. So
that's
That-
one
that-
where the consistency would
yeah.
get me. Like,
Well,
that-
yeah, I mean, it's like slurping boogers for however long you're doing it. I mean, like I like oysters, a few of them, not like 1,000, like you're eating right there. Is it you gotta get over all that, right? You gotta not even think about taste or any of that shit, and you just gotta like inhale, kind of, right?
yeah, I don't really love raw oysters, but it doesn't matter if it's a contest. You do it, and there's a lot of foods I don't like that. I don't really like spicy food. I mean, but the pickled jalapenos I'm good at eating, so you just turn it off. And if you taste the food, then something's wrong. That's
Right.
Okay, you're messing up then. Okay, got
So
it.
yeah, but there's a ways around it. You use Kool-Aid or whatever. I just use water, but I used to use like the red stuff, change the flavor up. So
I did see pictures of you with like red all down the front of your shirt. So that's what it was. Okay. All right. That's good to know. I was like, I didn't
it
know what
wasn't
you were eating
blood.
there.
It wasn't blood, and PETA didn't show.
Well, I knew it wasn't that. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, didn't show up this
Now,
it looks like blood, and then I'm like, why didn't anybody tell me how stupid I looked and like crazy? I just thought it was funny and cool, and then I'm like, I'm like, this was all like it's just everywhere, and like it stains your hands and just gets. The guy next to me in the middle was using the red stuff, but this year I just was like, no mohawk, no Kool-Aid, and I usually do music. I had it just one ear in, but I wasn't even really listening. So
yeah. And is this just so you can zone out and you're not listening to somebody like or
Yeah.
whatever? Yeah. Right. I'm pretty sure.
sounds are a little odd, that's for sure up there.
Dude, like looking at like a lot of your old pictures, like I always do like a deep dive, and like just like looking to say stuff. Like you had some of like the old ass headphones on that were like
Oh,
wrap
yeah.
around ears, and I was like, oh man, I wish I could have afforded those when I was a kid. And look at this guy, he's up on stage like just munching hot dogs and like just living the time of his life, and I'm over there like, man, I got these bogus ass fucking Sony headphones that came with the stupid disc, man. Like, and then he's got the good shit, man.
There's around the top, yeah.
Yeah, like the like the sports ones, like, and there's like you had like the foam like wrap around. I was like, oh, I wanted those so bad, but I didn't have a job.
Oh, you had
so.
the Bartman ones?
Oh, I did. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's an embarrassing admission. But I'm
It
glad
is-
you got it
it's
out
bad,
of
dude.
it. Patrick, I'm glad you got this out of this, man.
Listen, man.
The audience gonna love it.
I was broke as a fucking joke, man. What am I gonna say? Now you're out there in New York and you're there to eat all these hot dogs, but also you like on your Instagram, you guys are posting pictures of food. You and your girlfriend going all these different places eating. Are you a foodie? Like, you're into food, right? You're a chef and you're into food.
Yeah, that was like the worst part because the second I got in and I did eat, I was like, I'm not gonna eat, but I was so hungry and tired. We went to a burger place and then there was a pizza place across the street that I wanted to try. So I had like 2 burgers and we went and I ate like a pizza and a half, not big ones.
Jesus Christ.
But the day before I couldn't eat the day before besides like some almonds and some chocolate, and then day of the same thing. And I just obviously wasn't hungry after. So the next day after, so we could really do some damage. So, yeah.
Now, Patrick, is that part of the training
amazing.
regiment? Like the day before, like you just don't eat anything, or I've heard something too about like drinking cold water and some different strategies. Like, is it just so you limit and then you're ready to go that next day?
Yeah, it's the training is a lot of liquid and low calorie stuff. So it's more just like for the hot dogs, you just don't want to have too much in you because like you might. I always say it's like either a toothpaste or like a sausage press. So you're putting all this pressure on top, and then you like don't want to shit yourself during the contest. So
Have you seen that happen before? Has someone shit themselves that you know of in the contest? You don't have to say who it was, but have you seen someone shit themselves in the contest?
only my friend Badlands Booker after a pickle eating contest, not directly after, but he was helping someone with a piano and he like shit his pants.
Helping somebody with a piano.
Well, no, the piano is an element here. What the hell?
Come on now. We need that whole story. We need the
I
whole
think
story.
I think I'd shit myself. I was helping with a piano, even eating nothing. Like
Who would ask anyone Listen, like I think like people asking you to help move is already over the line, but asking you to move a fucking piano the day after you had a pickle eating contest, that guy. I wish he would have shit on the piano.
Yeah, definitely. But it's also like you just want to be empty, and like I would eat every eater is different, but the day of, I used to never eat the day of, but my stomach was just getting really tight, so I would just eat some whatever almonds and chocolate at the day of. I mean, it seems counterintuitive, but I never listened to my body, and I figured it out this past time around. But 10 years ago when I was doing it, I never did that, so that helped for sure.
Yeah, you gotta listen to the body as you get older. That's for sure. Yep.
Now, after that shit story, I'm sure everybody's hungry, so I want to ask you a question. I had read that you have a goal of having a sandwich named after you.
Oh, yeah.
Have you accomplished this at this point, or do you think it's coming now with the championship?
I'm sure it'll happen. I've had like food items. I think I believe I said a sandwich, a sex act, and a cafeteria were the three that I want.
Oh my God! Yes.
I mean, the cafeteria should be a no-brainer. If your high school doesn't want to do it, Treasy, we'll try and get Deal South to jump on board because he's a good South Side boy. So we'll just figure out a way. We'll talk to somebody over there. You know,
that's hilarious.
Yeah, I don't know. You got to have goals, I guess. But yeah, I've had like a pizza named after me, and I've done like pop-up specials where I've done pizzas at my friends' places. So it's not really as important anymore. But that's a baller move, you know, having a food.
No, fuck yeah,
absolutely.
And the sex act. We got to work on this too. Although I don't know if we can give you the don't stop eating till the job is done because that may be the chestnut already. So I don't know. But
we'll there might be a little copyright or something. We don't worry about that. You know, watching these competitions, and I generally only have seen the hot dog one, a couple others, but not a lot of them. It has a feel of like a big promotional event, and they do a good job with that. Are there rivalries amongst the group, Patrick? People that like, man, when you're up against them or when it's like your specialty and it's also their specialty, you really want to kick their ass? And not just for the money, just because it's like, oh, that person, I really want to get over on that person.
They're not nearly as much anymore. There's not really as many events. So I think I retired in like 2013 or something. I don't remember. But before then, me and him would always go back and forth. And he always brings it for the 4th of July, but you can catch him sleeping on all these other foods, and he really has to practice to do well. So I had it with him before, but now the 4th place guy, I just really wanted to beat him, and I had to qualify against him, and I beat him by like a half a hot dog. So like that one felt real good. Yeah.
So who was that?
His name's Nick Weary.
Okay.
So, I like the guy. I don't know. I just was extra motivated, and like I said, I retired, came back, and I had never beat him before. It was more because I never had beaten him before. And the other two guys that got 2nd and 3rd in the 4th of July, I never beat him in any contest before. They're very good. So
wow,
that was actually pretty good for me. So
you beat Nick, and his wife also ate more than him, right?
Yeah, she did.
Well, she's
she's incredible. I'm just
she crushes. Like,
well, she's only 7 behind me. That's like she's really good. And
God damn.
Her eating was extremely impressive because when you look at me, I look like shit. It was like the buns weren't going down. I always had like a month, but she was able to like throw them back the whole time. And like, I cringe every time I see the footage. I'm like, oh my God, I look terrible.
Man.
Well, then you had the two hands. You're trying to push the buns all in there.
Yeah, I need to work on that for next year because that's not a good look.
I wonder what her DMs are like, because like guys, they're just really disgusting. And they definitely are like, man, I need to DM her. Like she can take, 50 wieners in her mouth. She can take mine
too. I mean, like,
she's not ugly.
Nice looking lady. The Nick guy though, there's rumors out there right now. They're trying to say that he might have cheated in the competition, put an extra plate or whatever. Does this happen sometimes in the sport? Not saying in this particular instance, but like in the sport, do people like try to shoot angles for some of these things?
It certainly has. It doesn't happen very often. Like, I think one time I busted. You guys remember the Black Widow? She's like the small. When she was the top female eater. She like, I don't know. You can get like double plated, and then they'll count your plates. That's kind of similar to the controversy now. Yeah. If they stick together, then they go by 5, whatever. And I busted her, and they like she got busted. So like it doesn't happen very often, and
Yeah.
you have to really question somebody that's cheating in an eating contest, you know.
Right.
Well, I like that most of the people just take pride in their craft and they would not cheat. I really like that approach.
There's a way to do it on purpose. Like you can eat extra messy, and although I was eating and it looked messy, I mean it's never the attempt. That's just kind of how I always eat, you know. So, but hopefully, yeah, it's just always look bad doing it.
I don't know. You looked good housing this ice cream.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
At Sox Park. That's just something that blows my mind. So like I think you took that whole helmet Sunday down in like 3.5 minutes. Now like just the general like eating a ton at once is one thing, but the effect that ice cream and like cold things have on the body when you're eating those, how do you get past that? Like the brain freeze and things like that.
I don't get the brain freeze. I get more like the little chest thing, and I haven't done ice cream super recently. I think I did like almost 2 gallons in 8 minutes, but it doesn't like if it's the right temperature. But that one was fun because they invited me, and I was like, all right, I'll go. But you gotta like, I wanted to eat all the food, so I did that thing, and then I ended up walking around and just eating all the food. They took me to like the club level, so
Nice.
I don't really like to do stuff for like free shit anymore, and I never really have. I'd rather just eat good food, you know. So,
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
Can't blame you.
Did Ron
I'm
Kittle
that
try to
people
like
have all kinds of options.
Oh,
Go ahead.
no, I was gonna say, did Ron Kittle ever try to like out eat you in the club level or anything? Because he's notorious. Like he just shows up and he's like, "Give me some ribs," and they do. And then he has like a 6x6 cheeseburger that he gets on the patio.
yeah.
I mean, Jesus Christ, this guy's like living it up. Like they gave him a World Series ring. He wasn't even on the team. I mean, they just love Ron Kittle over there. They feed him. You know, it could be part of the reason. You know, yeah, I don't know. It's weird. It's weird over there with Ron Kittle.
I mean, I love a good fat guy. Like John Kruk was on the White Sox for a while, wasn't
Yes,
he?
he was.
Yeah, you gotta figure he has a good stomach capacity. I mean, what's that closer guy that looks like he sleeps in a trailer? Beck, was that the guy?
Rod Beck was the guy. Yeah.
He did sleep in a trailer across the street from the
that's
park.
right.
Yeah.
So he looks like he does, and he actually does. So,
That begs the question. You're a
lived it
Sox
out.
fan then, right? You're a Sox fan.
yeah, I grew up Sox fan, and I don't really follow baseball as much anymore. But I just I identify more with Sox fans, and I always question why all the day games sold out in Wrigley. Like, don't these people have jobs?
Right.
No, they don't.
They don't.
Have you guys seen that guy's video on Jeopardy when he's answering all the questions and he's like, "What is a North Sider?" and he just calls him gay or something? It's pretty fun.
I did not see that.
No, I'm a North Sider now, but all my family is South Side. And but back to the ice cream, I have to bring up eating like low sugar ice cream was like the worst. We all had like the worst time after. It was pretty comically bad, you know.
Oh,
Like,
okay. Yeah.
Like, worst time, like
Make
just
you poops.
digestively.
It was
horrible.
Distressing, you know. It was like really bad. Like I've never experienced anything like that in my life.
Oh my
We
God.
didn't-
Dude,
Yeah, it was really
Like
bad.
the
Treasy.
Haribo
yes,
gummy
it's
bears.
like the gummy bears. It's like
the
the sugar-free gummy bear
bear
story. Yes.
Yeah, it was like we only had to eat 24 scoops of it. I think I did it in like under a minute, and it's not a lot of ice cream, but it was like every 10 minutes somebody like ran to the bathroom. We were like in Nashville trying to party after. You used to see somebody just leave their drink and like run to the bathroom.
Man.
It was so bad. Yeah.
Well, I wanted to ask that too, Patrick. Is it very collegial? You guys hang out afterwards and like you know, kind of, we did this battle against each other, and now we're gonna go celebrate together, kind of.
Yeah, it's I don't really drink anymore, but there was just a lot of drunken shenanigans after, and it's like the 4th of July. Everybody trains so hard for it. It just feels so good to not have to think about hot dogs. And when I was drinking, we'd go to the boardwalk after, and I was just that beer tasted so good, you know.
Oh yeah.
I bet.
Like mutual shared misery, or I don't know. And all these dudes are from all around the world, and I don't see them very often. So it's just a great time, and we all have the same mental disability that tells us to do these eating contests.
Yeah.
Well, for the Nathan's one, and now I mean you've won it now, but like over the years you competed in a bunch. Is it just like, is there something about like even I'm just good enough to be up on this stage? Like is that a win in its own right? Because I mean like there's only a few people in the world that could say that they were on that stage.
Right.
Yeah, I think just getting there is one thing, and then there's a lot of tears to like the number wise. So like 20 used to get you to the table, and that was like the benchmark. 30 won it a few years. Then Kobayashi came and doubled it to 50. So like 30 is like the new benchmark. 40 is pretty difficult, and 50 is like, I think I counted. There's only been like 10 people that have ever eaten over 50, and over 60. I think there's like 3 or 4 guys. So it's like It's weird, and like the disservice Joey did to this contest not being there was he is so good, and it looks so easy that he did 76, and then my 58 is like, oh, who's this asshole from Chicago? He always
So he's your friend, obviously.
Yeah.
Now, can you talk about like, your feelings on like what happened with him and the vegan dogs? Like, is that bullshit? Because I mean, what I looked at it as is this guy's just trying to make some money in something that I don't know that there's a lot of money to be made. So like he's grabbing a deal when he can get a deal, and it's kind of like, hey, this is it's benefited you, but it also like you just said, it's kind of not cheapens the win, but also you're like, God, I still want to beat the guy that's the best at the point.
Yeah. I mean, the whole thing to me is just really confusing, and I'm not complaining because it helped me, obviously.
Hell yeah!
Right.
But I'm and the win feels good. I'm just more happy that I was stuck for so long at like in the 50s, and to finally have the breakthrough, and that actually means more to me. The win is great, but and as far as hissing too, it's like I can't wrap my head around it. I mean, Impossible is a different brand, and I get it. And kudos to them for trolling because they did buy ads. They did have a commercial that ran during the contest.
I love it.
Oh my God, I love it.
So I don't know. I love Nathan. I actually do like Nathan's hot dogs. They're really good. And it's just the whole thing to me. I can't make sense of it, and it's just weird. I don't know. It's just odd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
that sucks.
If a deal came about, you versus Joey, on something, are you down to go against head to head with Joey?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I can contractually, but he's actually got an event with Kobayashi on Labor Day. So after that,
oh really? I thought Kobayashi was
that's a Netflix one, right?
Back, huh?
Yeah,
Okay.
a Netflix one. So if you guys are gonna bet heavy on, I mean, you're not gonna make much money like my odds, but Joey's gonna destroy him on. It's not without even a question. Like, yeah, I would do that.
Man, that's some hot shit right there. We want to make sure we tell everyone we know.
And,
Camera.
I'm sure Joey's gonna be back next year. I mean, he's not happy that it's just, but he knows he did his own event on the 4th, and he knows he needs to be eating hot dogs on the 4th. So like, right. I want him to come back. I mean, it benefits me if he's not there, but I would actually just rather him be there. And it doesn't really feel the same because he's a good friend, and it's just like,
yeah,
he's like my big brother, who's not drunk texting you guys at whatever.
we appreciate that brother.
That's fine.
Yeah.
But I like the
DMs
drama
are
of this, Patrick, where you're the current champion, and then Joey's like, all right, I'm going to come back and reclaim my throne right here, and you guys going against each other next year would be just like great drama, great story, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I don't know. I know I can improve. I don't know if I get to his number, but when I started training like in November, I was starting from 0, and I'm like, Jesus, for the longest time, it was so difficult to get my stomach to hold it, and now I know what to do, so it'll be a lot easier. And
awesome. All
the contests I'm doing now, I'm like, this is so easy. I don't have to cook like 70 hot dogs in my house and sweat. And
yeah,
I'm gonna eat these after the contest. I had that blueberry thing.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Man never stops.
Now,
always training.
Blueberries, what's the poundage that you're going for, or do they just, is it a timed event? Like
it's both. So it's 8 minutes, and whoever eats the most. It's just I don't really know the sponsor. I just know it's in Grand Rapids, and it's before a pickleball like tournament or something.
Oh my God,
the prize money's good, and blueberries are hilarious. So I would love to say that I have the world blueberry eating record. So
there's got to be a different technique though, right? Oh, go ahead, Teresa.
How many pounds is that record?
This is a 5-pound bowl, but I have like 22 pounds out on the table.
22 pounds.
I did eat a good amount the other day, but I don't know how to eat these things. So like the first practice was good, but I reviewed the footage. I'm like, man, I need to do this a lot better, and I got to get closer to 16 pounds then I would feel happy and probably win.
Man,
I was going to ask, how do you do
60
it? Because like
watching
picking
yourself eating it after
picking up blueberries, you're going to drop them, and like I was wondering the technique of how do you even get it in there, like.
It's just shovel, stick your head in there. The worst part was like they're not. There's not a lot of fiber in there. Like I ate a bunch 2 days ago, and I'm like, oh my God! Like I thought today, I was like, something was wrong, and I didn't have the effect. But
Yeah, you're
I
peeing
know,
out the 2-hole.
I like all the weirder the record, the better. Like I think I had Rocky Mountain Oysters, all stuff like that. I'm like, all right, sign me up. I want that record, you know. So Blueberry.
Now, Patrick, you said you were like semi-retired before, but you're back doing it a little bit. Are you just kind of waiting, you know, like they did in golf for the Saudi money to come through, and then the competitive eaters are just got to be like absolutely ridiculously rich? I mean, is it just hold on until then? I mean, like I would if I were you.
Yeah, I think I think I was. Somebody said I maybe was born 10 years too late or too. It's too early because I was doing YouTube for like a very long time, starting in 07, and now I just don't really care for it. I think it's kind of boring. But like now, I'm like, damn, I got to do it again because like it's I got to capitalize on this. So at least
build a brand. Yes.
Yeah. So at least Joey, if he comes back next year, and then at least maybe 2 years. But I never thought I swear I would never do it again. And like whenever I left the last. But I
They pull you back in.
I love the opportunity, and I don't know. I just try not to be a dick to people. You know, I didn't burn the bridge when I left. I just was like, I got to go, and I think that's a good lesson for a lot of people. Just don't be a jerk. You know. So
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Don't be a jerk is a good lesson to a lot of
and
people.
don't stop eating until the job is done.
Yes.
Patrick, I checked Facebook real briefly. Just a couple quick questions. Favorite Chicago band for you? What's your favorite band?
I grew up listening to this band called Mexican Cheerleaders, but they don't play anymore. I'm spacing on that because I wasn't.
Well, I will say we looked at our mutual friends.
We have mutual
and
friends, yeah.
So me and MSS only have one in common with you each, but mine is Daryl from the Bull Weevils. And his is the drummer from the Smoking Popes.
The
so you got to
Smoking Popes.
choose between the Popes and the Bull
And
Weevils.
the Bull
right
Weevils,
now.
yes.
I mean, I got to lean towards the Smoking Popes, but I'm also
Yes!
going to be going to see. I think the Boll Weevils are playing a show at Reggie's coming up, so I'm going to see him. So hopefully he doesn't see this and get mad at me. But
Yes.
yeah, my brother, older siblings took us to the Fireside and all the punk
Nice.
stuff.
Oh hell yeah, nice.
Oh man.
Yeah,
It's a lot of good years.
Yeah.
What's your favorite Chicago food? Is it deep dish? Just
No,
because
I
that's your nickname? Or did they just give you that nickname?
I had to give it to myself because they were giving me dumb other nicknames, and you have to have a nickname apparently when you eat. So I should prefer the tavern style, probably tavern or hot dogs, Chicago style. Those are my two favorites.
Nice. Okay. So you didn't want to be called tavern style or tavern cut as your nickname?
Party Cut Bertoletti sounds pretty good.
It's not a guy you want to fuck with, especially if he's got a mohawk.
I was gonna say with the mohawk, if you're party cut,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, that's not a bad. I think I like that better, but you know, you have to do it, and it's more marketable. It rolls off the tongue, and I let the URL lapse, and some like Chinese company owns deepdisheats.com now, unfortunately. So.
It's stolen. It's been stolen.
I don't know what it is. It's confusing, but whatever.
Damn it.
well,
yeah.
Patrick, I really appreciate you coming on. This has
amazing.
been amazing. We're big fans. We love what you're doing out there. I hope a lot of continued success. Do you got anything you want to promote before we let you go?
No, but I might be going down to the Sox game to throw out the first pitch. So
Yes.
It's easy to find us because we sit in section 108. We're right behind the right field foul pole. As many hot dogs as you want on us when you come out
and we'll bring you some shirts so you don't have to wear that Nathan's jersey that still stinks. All right.
I don't think I will be wearing that, so we're good.
All right. Well, if you want to sell that, Patrick, let me know too. I can probably put that up on eBay and get you a couple dollars, just so you know.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, Patrick. Appreciate you, man.